And now we're going to the 94th pick. We're going to the third round now. So
94th pick. Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. And I don't know. I like this guy. I've been watching him. When I was doing kind of the grading on it, I mean, he kind of keeps like showing up to me. I don't know. And maybe it's just this kind of giving it, a little bit of who this guy is. I think right now we need a safety. I don't know Tyrann Mathieu. I don't know how everything's going to work out. But we got Reed, okay, and I think we may need some help. I'm just saying, possibly if we got this guy, and I'm looking at him, and I could go either safety or I might go corner, and so I like Brian Cook from Cincinnati. Okay. Hard-hitting guy. I like his toughness. He reminds me kind of like a Tyrann Mathieu. He really does in a sense because he's aggressive in his play. I think he understands, all the areas like where he needs to be. Like he has a really good feel, okay, of like defenses and fitting in areas and whatnot. And so he kind of jumped out to me, man. And I kept going through and I couldn't get past this guy. I don't know. I just couldn't get past him. Like, dang God, he just, I gotta take him. I like him. I like him a lot. So he's one for sure. Other guy, Jalen Davis. I don't know I don't know. Maybe, possibly he might get there. Corner from Alabama, possibly. So I like that about him. So that's where I'm at. Them two. So what do you think about Brian Cook? What do you think about him, man?
Well, I can tell you what, man. Howard Bison, baby. That's all I'm going to say because he was an HBCU kid. He transferred to Cincinnati. Really shined at Cincinnati. He shined at Howard. The kid was an animal. He'll hit you, knock your teeth out. Absolutely love his box presence. He can come out. He can take on a tight end one-on-one. He's physical and athletic enough. I think he hits way harder than Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll make you pay. I'm not no dog, and Tyrann's a stud, but he's not laying wood like Cook is. So I would take Cook all day long. I think that's a good fit. I don't know if Davis will be there. He's a stud too. He's a very good football player. Not 100% sure he should have. I think he came out early. I'm not 100% sure he should have. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had another year. He probably should have taken it and kept it. But you know what? Even if we're talking about him in the top 100, he'd still be a steal at this point. I'm going to use a different guy, though. I'm going to throw a different player's name out there. You guys are really high on him from what I'm hearing. And it's a little early in the draft, but he's a safety. And his name is JT Woods from Baylor.
Yes.
He is a 4-3 guy. He's a special teams guy. He is a ball hawk. He is Tyrann Mathieu in a nutshell, but faster. So I think, do you put him at, obviously you got Thornhill, who's a stud, but you also have, like you said, Justin Reed, who just came over from Houston, but this is a guy that's a depth guy that you can get him. He comes in, learns your system, and in a year or two, he's your replacement guy. He's the guy that comes in, fills right now. They love him. He's got the speed. He has the technique. He's coming from a great defense. Baylor was awesome. And I'll tell you what, man, I think JT Woods is the guy that I have written down number 1 on 94. He came in for a top 30 visit with you guys already. And he would be a guy that I think would fit right there in that pick. I don't know if he could still be there with 103. You know what I mean? He could still fall to 103, but I don't know if you risk that if you really need that safety. I don't think it's a major priority for them. But then again, if you can upgrade a position and know that you're getting a stud that can play special teams, remember, special teams adds value big time.
Yes, it does.
JT Woods played special teams. He was big time on special teams. So if you have a guy that can play special teams as well as coming in a reserve role that can come in automatic, that's way more valuable than a guy that could potentially be a backup or something to that nature. If you can add that extra value, Cook could do that too, and Davis AD could too. I mean, at the end of the day, I either one of them would be great, but I also had them going secondary. I had them going safety, so that was your initial. So I think we're on the right boat with that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Well, cool.
We got the 103rd pick, the final pick of the mock draft here of the 3-round mock.
Okay. Third pick. And I said, defense is what we need. We need edge. We need this and that. The third pick. This guy, like I said, keeps showing up for me. I like this guy's athleticism. But I like Dominique Robinson. Okay.
Okay.
I like him. I like him. Hey, and I'll tell you what, man, this dude is an athlete. And so when I found out, man, he moved from being
wide receiver.
Wide receiver defense. I said, man, this dude, hey, any dude that can do that for wide receiver to putting his hand in their defensive end to come out he's on my boat. I got him. He's come on here with me. Shoot, we're going to go get this. You need to be here with me when we come off of it. I know he'll be down for it. And so when I see him out there playing, man, he's jumping out his cleats. He's firing off, man. And so you see the athleticism being wide receiver coming out. That's what it is. And he's raw. Yeah, he's raw. But you know what? Man, look at his upside when you have with this rawness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got an athlete. And I said, look, guys only know what they know. And so he a guy that might not know nothing. You teach him some things. And you tell him how to do it. He'll get there. He'll be better, man. And that's what I like about it. So it's three. I got like 3 edges, 3 guys. He's the guy that's going to come get the ball. When you need a play, put this guy in. We need a guy to come in and a few plays. Not a big guy. He's still got to learn how to go against the run and stuff like that. But when you talk about a freakish athlete, to me, I'm taking him all day long, and I think he'll develop. He'll get better. But to me, that's the guy I would go with, man. So what do you think about him?
Man, look, I will be the first to say this. I discovered this guy. I don't care what anyone else says. He had committed to the Hula Bowl. We had him in the Hula Bowl for 3 days. 3 days. The minute we announced it, he got stolen from me. But I'm telling you, I had discovered him. Miami, Ohio, baby. I don't care what anyone says. I'll take the knock for it later because
I got you.
He was a wide receiver. He's fast. He's physical. He does not take plays off. But if you need a third down pass rusher, 3rd down, 3rd and 5, and you need somebody to come in and say, go get him.
Yep.
Ooh, man, I'll tell you what, you better get a hand on him. You better put something on that kid because he's so damn fast around that corner. Little light in the pants, little raw on the move, but just straight line speed. Oh my Lord, he's so filthy. He's a wide receiver playing defensive end. And if I'm not mistaken, there, Jason, right? That you played double positions at the Senior Bowl, right? You were one.
I did.
Fun fact, right? Jason Dunn, right? A little defensive line action and tight end action at the Senior Bowl back in the day, correct?
That is correct, 100%. I don't know who else has done it, but yeah, that's a fun fact. Yeah, only guy to go at least for me both ways. That's right, the Senior Bowl.
That's it.
I love it.
Dominique Robinson, same type player. You know what? I wouldn't be mad with that. I actually had him going running back, taking a running back in the 3rd round and throwing some juice out there. Just why not add more potential and more stuff around Patrick. Obviously, you lose a guy. When Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes down, you know what I mean? It's not the same. So you add a guy like a James Cook who might be there at 103 or a guy like Pierre Strong from South Dakota State. 2 weapons, great hands, fast, speedy guys that can catch the ball. You can't go wrong there. And them are just 2 guys that I just throw out there, but not necessarily a need. I don't think you guys have many needs. And at the end of the day, that's where we stand in the mock drafts is you guys are at a liberty to kind of take the best player available throughout the entire damn draft if you really want to stick to that approach. There's nothing saying that you have to take your guy. You can wait. And if you look at the guys that they brought in their top 30, I don't know how well they follow to it, but like my Buffalo Bills, their top 30 guys are guys that that's who they're going after. Like they're dead serious. They're set on that. Them 30 guys that they have are guys that they have somewhere on that board to where they feel are going to be right there in that spot, and they're picking there. And if they pick, they're taking one of them guys from that top 30 visit. If you look at your guys, a lot of your guys are like late round, gems. That goes to show me something. That shows me either you're really high on a guy that I'm not high on, number one, or number two, you're not afraid of losing some draft picks for trade because you're evaluating guys that are later in the draft. So the guys that they've brought in that are like late round guys, Greg Jr. from Ouachita Baptist. I mean, not many people know about this kid, but this kid's a freaking freak. He's a beast. He's an all-around football player. You remember a couple of years ago, I think you guys drafted Tremon Smith, right? He was a return man and everything. This kid's a better corner than Tremon Smith, but not as athletic as far as Tremon was a return man and everything else. But Greg Jr. is a physical 6-foot corner. You guys have brought in, who else have you guys brought in? I was trying to look at the list, going over it all. There was another safety, if I'm not mistaken, a safety or a DB, a corner. You guys had, Jalen Watkins is another one. He's an extremely big kid, fast. He's a later round kid from Washington State. So, like, these are guys that they're obviously looking at later on. And, the Chiefs they're in a great position. You have 6 picks in the top 103.
Yeah, right.
And you were the team that you were the team. I mean, the Bengals beat you barely. You know what I'm saying? Right. So at the end of the day, it's like you're right there. And I would like to say that the Chiefs barely beat my Bills, by the way.
But you know what? The problem was to me is, when we needed the plays and those guys, when we needed to get Joe Burrow down or we needed to get Josh Allen down, we needed that, those guys on defensive side to really show up, right? And we got Ingram late, and he brought a whole different mindset to the defense that we didn't have at the beginning. And so I always say, man, you don't want to compromise off. You don't want. Look, I hate the whole score 50 points to win. I don't want. No, that's a terrible philosophy to me. Absolutely. Like I watched how Buffalo did with their rotation of their defensive line. I'm like, yo, that fresh guys or fresh bodies coming in and moving. It wears offensive linemen down.